welcome to Cardinal 84's 2015 Alaska Kayak Fishing Highlights. Without a doubt, the highlight of the year was gaining my 10-year-old son as a bona fide fishing partner. He caught the biggest fish of the year, and I created a 2015 highlight video just for him. You can find the link in the comments section below. I had a few other interesting moments, like catching king salmon and halibut utilizing a barbie rod. I definitely had some heartbreaks along the way and managed some interesting underwater video that I hope to get more of in 2016. So kick back and relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. 2015 starts out on a great note with a king caught January 11th. I follow it up in February on Super Bowl Sunday with a better king in challenging conditions. This king in February marks the 6th consecutive month I've caught a king from my kayak. After unsuccessfully fishing the Homer Winter King Derby the past 2 years, the third time proves to be the charm. The day prior to the Derby, several of us head out to pre-fish the Derby, and I get lucky hooking into this nice king. This fish makes it the 7th consecutive month I've managed a king from my kayak here in South Central Alaska. So 5 members of the NorthwestKayakAnglers.com enter the Derby. Though the fishing was slow, as it always is for the tournament, we had some great weather and I get lucky enough to land this fish. This king, at roughly 16 pounds, is the eventual kayak division winner for the Homer Winter King Derby. Eric Plim, utilizing his Hobie Pro Angler, also manages a king, making the kayakers 2 for 5. In order to keep my consecutive king streak going, I fish on a blustery, wintry day in April off of Whiskey Gulch. This king marks the 8th consecutive month I've caught a king from my kayak.
A pretty good one.
My first halibut of the year comes on May 10th off of Whiskey Gulch. So 3 members of the NorthwestKayakAnglers.com enter the Anchor Point King Derby. This is a great example of the advantages the kayaks have over even powerboats. We launch early for the 7 a.m. start, but the Derby's delayed till 9 a.m. because the powerboats can't get out. While waiting for the official Derby time to start, we manage 2 halibut. We also run into Swanson Silver of NWKA, and he manages a really nice king off his hybrid stand-up paddleboard.
Yeah, baby. All right. Good job, man.
It is remarkable how similar the pattern of love is to the pattern of insanity. A quote from the Merovingian from the movie The Matrix Revolutions. Who would have thought that a quote from a science fiction movie would be so applicable to the halibut and salmon fishing off of Whiskey Gulch?
All right, I'll consider that, cock.
How insane is it that you can land halibut and kings utilizing a barbie rod? I was definitely in love. On the very first day that I used Barbie, I went 3 for 3 on kings and 2 for 2 on halibut. A perfect 5 for 5 day. Because at the time, the annual limit for this area was 2 kings, all the kings I caught on both days were safely released. On day 2, though the fishing was slow, Barbie manages a nice halibut and another king. But it was too good to last. What started out as a crazy good time ends in heartbreak. As I begin to call it a day, Barbie hooks up one last time. It's a massive halibut. My best guess is that this halibut was well over 80 pounds.
Yeah, I know it's a halibut. I've already got a little one, but this one feels better. It's hard to say with this.
Battery's running low on my GoPro. I missed the harpoon shot. And as quickly as this love story begins, it ends in tragedy. Once harpooned, the halibut takes off. Please excuse the mild profanity, but I just had to hear Barbie sing one last time.
Oh, that's not good. What happened?
So this was the third year that I sponsored the Northwest Kayak Anglers Alaska Yak Classic. Although it was a little windy out, we had over a dozen kayaks participating in this year's tournament. The fish were plentiful, but not too many large ones were caught, despite some rumors of a few large fish being broken off. On day one, I managed a 30-pounder, good enough for second place. On day two, I managed a 40-pounder, which was the eventual winner for the Northwest Kayak Anglers Alaska Yak Classic for 2015. While I'm always happy to win a derby, I'm hoping that in 2016 it brings more competitors and bigger fish to the tournament. There's just something odd about buying trophies for yourself, as I've won all three of the Alaska Yak Classics I've sponsored. The following week, the great halibut fishing continues. Because we fish shallow waters, large halibut are sometimes hard to come by, but the average size over the past several years has steadily increased, with 25 to 40 pounders being relatively common. Here's a great example why I always say a PFD is required equipment. Because I forgot my harpoon, I tried to use a shark hook. That sinker could have easily rendered me unconscious had it hit me any harder. It's always fun taking new people fishing. This was my son's first halibut trip, along with Mark, aka Rip and Drag. The following week I take Luke out and he manages his first 2 halibut off a kayak. While out fishing with Luke, I even manage a few fish. Here's a great example. At first, if you don't succeed, try again. I wonder if the halibut didn't hit my sinker, as the first strike seemed very heavy. But after jigging for a few more seconds, I finally hook up to a nice fish. It's amazing how lightly the halibut sometimes hit. You never know how large it is until you get a good look at the fish. On this day, I'm fortunate enough to fish with Nick, who I met through the forums from Southern California. Even though this was his first trip to Alaska, Nick helps my son catch his first halibut ever. With my streak in jeopardy, on the last day of June, I finally catch a small one out of Ship Creek off my kayak. Though small, this is the 10th consecutive month I've caught a king off my kayak. On July 4th weekend, I go out fishing, and I get something just a little bit different from the norm.
Not much. Oh yeah, sweet. I do not want to get stabbed by that.
The dogfish shark has excellent white meat and makes for great table fare, something I think a lot of folks don't realize.
Look at that spike. That spike is not good. Teeth, not so bad. Spike, not so good. flying around.
I need to figure out what to do about these flying sinkers. This year, too many times I've had close calls where the sinker has hit me in the head or my GoPro. On July 5th, I did manage 2 small kings from Ship Creek, which extended my streak to 11 months. ARC, aka Rip and Drag, sponsors a Barbie rod tournament for halibut for the kayakers. Barbie gives me a second chance, but she fails me on the very first fish. So after Barbie fails me, I turn to my new love, Princess Elsa of Frozen. She handles the halibut like a champ. During the kitty rod derby, there were rumors of a few large fish being lost, but I managed 5 or 6 halibut, with the largest going roughly 20 pounds, and it was good enough to win. August 2nd was one of the more memorable days that I had for the year. It turns out to be a 3-species day. Unfortunately for me, one of the species was a common mure. I felt it strike the bait 65 feet down at first and continues to chase the bait on its way up. After landing another nice halibut, I even managed a king salmon using my halibut gear. This makes it 12 consecutive months that I've caught a king salmon off my kayak here in south central Alaska. Mission accomplished.
Ooh, this might be a good one.
On September 11th, I meet up with Jeff and we do a little bit of halibut fishing. The first fish of the day feels really heavy. Fish breaks off, breaking a 250-pound rated swivel. I've never had that happen before.
This feels like a good one. Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Some days you're on and some days you're off. Today was definitely my off day, though I do manage to get this fish with the assistance of Jeff's harpoon.
Oh crap, I just broke my harpoon. Because I hit it and it... No, but it's still on. Because it... Did not like that. Is it there? Is it there?
So I break a swivel, I break a harpoon. What could possibly go wrong next?
Correlation is... Ow, 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 ow. I guess I won't be keeping that one.
Took a little break from the saltwater to fish trout and pike with my son. I managed this decent 8-pounder utilizing my ultralight rod.
This is a good one. Okay, hit him.
So on September 26th and 27th, I managed 5 kings utilizing my proxy. This starts the cycle of kings all over again. 13 consecutive months. It's hard to believe you can do that off a kayak here in Alaska. Though my son Dude totally outfishes me during the Homer Elks King Derby, I managed a few fish of my own.
Oh, this is a better one.
October off the Homer Spit proved to be excellent fishing for these kings. We caught dozens of kings in the month of October between my son and I. Though the water was murky, the king fishing was great, good enough that I decided to try to deploy an underwater camera to see what I could capture. The fishing was good enough that I'd opted to use my ultralight on several occasions. Unfortunately, this time I get tangled up and I break one of my favorite rods. You've seen me catch kings and halibut with a kiddie rod, and I caught 3 or 4 kings utilizing this ultralight before I broke it. It really is a testament to the kayak platform and how effective it is for catching large fish on light gear. So with these October kings, my king streak ends at 14 months. My son, however, managed a king in November, but I failed to do so. Here's a few more underwater clips though that I managed to capture. While our last trip out in November didn't produce any fish, we were surrounded by dozens of whales that put on a great show for us. Well, what a great year 2015 has been. I can't wait to see what 2016 brings for you and I.